All right, so next problem here, the question reads, hey, if the ratio between x and y is 3 to 4 and y is 24, what is x? So I like this question a lot because, again, one, setting it up, and two, solving it, those are going to be two very important steps. So first things first, let's go ahead and set up our proportion given what we know. Remember that a proportion is going to be this fraction equals this fraction. And the key here is comparing the same things in the same way. So if we set this up properly, we're going to have x over y equals 3 over 4. All right? This is important because, again, the first number is x, the first number is 3. X and 3 should both be up top. The second value is y, the last value is 4. Y and 4 should both be on the bottom. So again, making sure that our setup is correct is going to save us a lot of grief. So let me show you the right and wrong ways to do this so you know exactly how we might be able to get the wrong answer, the right answer, and how we avoid that mistake. Here we go. So it says y is equal to 24. What's x going to be? All right, sweet. So what we're going to do here is we are going to replace y right there with 24. Nice and easy. And now that we did this, now we can go ahead and try to solve. Now, if you accidentally placed the 24 up here instead of down here, I promise you, you would have gotten an answer that's listed here, but let's go ahead and show you how we can avoid that. So in the proper way, 24 is on the bottom, replacing y, and now we can cross multiply and divide. X times 4, that'll end up being 4x. And then we have 24 times 3, which, okay, maybe we might not be able to do that with mental math, but we can still get it done very quickly right over here. 24 times 3, 4 times 3 is 12. And then we have 2 times 3 is 6, carry the 1 is 7. So it doesn't take a terrible amount of time, but there we are. And then lastly, we'll be dividing by 4. All right, so once we do that, again, maybe we don't know that with mental math. Maybe we do. But I'm assuming that we don't, and we'll take the time to do the long division, dividing 4 into 72. So once we do that, 4 goes into 7. That's just going to be once. We'll subtract that 4 and get 3 left over. Then we're going to drop that 2. And then we ask how many times 4 goes into 32. That'll actually be a clean 8 times. No remainder from that. And we're good. So once we do that division of 4, we get x equals 18. There we are. So that would, in this case, be the correct answer. But before we continue, let me go ahead and, one, talk to you about doing this in a much faster way. And then number 2, showing you what would have happened if we would have incorrectly replaced the 24. So number 1, let me show you a faster way of doing this. Right over here, let's get rid of that cross multiplication. And let's refer to the big idea here, comparing the same things in the same way. So everyone, here's what we want. We want to get x by itself. And if I can find a convenient comparison, I can save myself all this time of cross multiplying and then dividing. I can save myself that time. Watch this. Everyone, here's a comparison that we can try to make. Let's consider the comparison from 4 to 24. Can anybody tell me whether we multiply or divide, and by what number to go from 4 to 24? Yeah, if you're saying multiply by 6, absolutely correct. Because 4 times 6 is indeed 24. Now remember, when it comes to proportions, I hope this is something that's starting to open your eyes a little bit. When we compare the same things in the same way, it is going to be true. So watch. From right to left, times 6. Watch this, everyone. 3 times 6 is what? 18. Was that the same answer we got earlier? Absolutely it was. Absolutely was. So take a look at that. It can save you a ton of time once you have a proper setup and the comparison is visible. If you can see it with your eyes, if you can see it with your mental math skills, booyah. Guess how much time we saved? We saved all the time writing down 24 times 3 and all the time dividing that 72 by 4. We saved all that time, and that's why it's so important. And now, number 2, before we move on, I want to show you the mistake that can happen here when you mistakenly replace the wrong value. If you would have accidentally placed your x down here, let me actually not replace what we just wrote. Let me actually just go ahead, copy this over down here so we don't lose it. And then I'll just go ahead and rewrite everything again. Let me show you what would have happened if you would have mistakenly placed the 24 up here and the x down there. You might have been thinking, oh man, this is pretty easy. 3 to 24, that's a times 8 relationship. Everybody, what's 4 times 8 going to give us? 4 times 8, that'll give us 32. And guess what? You might get 32, but guess what? That'll be the incorrect answer. It'll be the incorrect answer because the comparison wasn't even set up the right way. Notice that it was y equals 24, which, yeah, sure, that was where y was. But remember, if it's x to y is 3 to 4, the x and the 3 need to be right across from each other, but they're not. And so if you didn't set it up correctly, your answer will automatically be wrong, no matter how pretty the number looks. So hopefully that's a nice little lesson for you in terms of, hey, the setup and the calculation are just as important as each other. They're equally important. And on to the next question we go. So this question is asking us to solve the following system, but more importantly, everybody, you want to ask yourself what the question's asking you, and that is solving the system for the value of y. Be very specific, because it may or may not, at times, help you navigate the question one way or another. When I take a look at this, I know that I have 2 options. I can use substitution or elimination, but everybody, is substitution the best way to go in this particular problem? Is substitution the best way to go? No, it's not, because we don't have one of the variables already isolated. If one of the variables was already by itself, then yeah, substitution is the way to go. But here, we're going to eliminate. We're going to cancel one of the variables out so we can get the other one by itself. So we have 5x plus 3y equals 19, and we have negative 5x plus 2y equals negative 4. What I'll point out immediately is that we have the same value in front of the x, and even better, we've got opposite signs. Everybody, what would happen if I were to add 5 minus 5? What would happen between these 2 terms? Yeah, they would cancel out. I don't even need to subtract because there's already a negative on this. There's already a negative there. So I don't even need to subtract these equations. I am just going to add them. That's all I'm going to do. I am simply going to add these. Because if I do that, let's go ahead and draw a nice little horizontal line. You'll see that these will cancel. Then you have 3y plus 2y, which gives us what, everybody? We have 3 plus 2, that ends up being 5y. And then from there, we have 19 minus 4, and that's going to leave us at 15. So we have 5y equals 15. But remember, everybody, we're not done. We have to get the y by itself. So we'll have to get rid of the 5 being multiplied by dividing by 5 on both sides. Once we do that, cancels on the left, leaving us with y equals 3. Booyah, there we go. We remember that we are indeed looking for the value of y, and so we're done. The correct answer here is answer choice D, y equals 3.